Hey folks, ET here coming at you with the week ahead look for a few tickers. We're going to cover Shop, Meta, and for your earnings, DGens, Netflix. Once again, don't ever play earnings. I do not ever play earnings. You can do what you do, but we're gonna look at its data anyways for you DGens out there that want to take a look at it. All right, we're gonna start with Shop. Here we are in its dark pools. We always check these. Largest aggregate level is 78.45. Big green bars are largest aggregate. So that's something important to look at as we go along. Just checking its gamma really quick. 70 seems to be an important level with a pull to 78, so it makes sense a little bit on that dark pool level as well. And its Gex and Vex is showing around 74, 75. But let's go ahead and take a look at its chart really quick. Customer sentiment for it is starting to wane from bearish to slightly bearish. Important level here. All right, so this is a two-way play for us on Shop. If this is the daily time frame, by the way, so there are some other levels in between here. If you drill down, these are just our AI generated. 70 is important. If Shop cannot hold 70, if it breaks, we're coming on down to 60, probably 65 as well. There's a little bit, there's a level on lower time frames there that the AI will draw for you as well. If we hold 70, then we could come up to this 78. All right. So this is a two-way play. Very simple, not trying to confuse you at all here. If we can't hold 70, we're coming on down. Puts are what I'll look for. If we can hold 70 and we consolidate there, I'm going to look for some calls to the upside. So we'll just see which way this plays out. Very simple look here. 70 is our pivotal level where we'll see how things go, and we'll just kind of go from there. Next up is Meta. We just take a look at its gamma really quick. A lot of positive levels here for repelling. There's been a lot of positive call flow for it, but 500 I think is going to be our key level, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the chart as we go along here and take a look. 509.87 is our largest aggregate right around there, so mark that on your charts for Meta. All right, that's a key level that we'll probably revisit at some point. Whether we get too far above or too far below, we'll start to go back up to that. But let's take a look at its chart really quick. All right, so there's a nice pull to 500 right here on its gamma. And if we just kind of look left a little bit and move our cursor up, we can see that there's some price contention points around 500 as we go along. All right, so there are some other levels in there around 500 to keep an eye on. There's been a lot of positive flow for it as of late, so very, very important to keep an eye on that. But its customer sentiment, which has a nice win percent, is starting to go more and more negative. So very simple look here. If Meta breaks and holds above 520, we're going to see more upside towards it. If it gets up to 520 and can't stay above it, I'm not talking about just one candle over 520. All right. If you get one candle over, it can always come back down. But this huge repel level here matches up pretty nicely with some support resistances, especially if you drill down on some smaller time frames and then draw the price levels with our AI here. You can see that as well. So 520 repel. If it can't stay above that and consolidate for a good portion of time, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30, hour, whatever you want to look at on your time frame, then we're coming back down to 500. Not a massive range to take a look at. I don't foresee 381.78 down here unless we have a really bad week, which is definitely possible, but it is starting to roll over on customer sentiment. So I'm in short the pop mode on this. So what I would like is a rise, 520 reject, and then have it come on back down. Pretty simple look there for Meta. All right, let's jump into Netflix. Its largest level is 629.55. We're not too far from that on price, I don't think, at the moment, so no big deal there. We'll just mark that on your chart as its key level. Some other big levels going down low. What is interesting on Meta or on Netflix here is there is a massive pull to 650. A lot of calls been buying and been being bought, and it has earnings. So something to keep an eye on there. Let's go ahead and take a look at its gamma really quick. I just like to do so you can see here that big 650 for this week. Its Gex and Vex is showing 662.6. So that is an interesting look. So either it's going to get an earnings run up to that spot, or earnings are going to be okay and it hits 650, but it's not far from that as we go along right now. Bottom of that range is around 560, 550. So interesting look there for sure as we're going along. But if we're on a smaller time frame here, it's showing 650 as a top, and then coming on down, 625 has got a repel level. All right, and then we've got some other ones down here to keep an eye. So this is a big gamble. If Netflix is heading down throughout the week, then 650 might be a nice direction. If you looked at that gamma, 550 is another direction that it could go. So this is a wide range. I don't know how I would play this if I played earnings. I surely do not, and these cons are going to be juiced with IV, so it's not going to be something that's worth it. But if you're out there and you're looking, and I know that's a very wide range, it's a $100 one, but 650 to 550 really is where you're looking. Let's go ahead and take a look at its customer sentiment really quick just to see where we're going. It is bullish currently. All right, and let's go ahead and draw our SR levels here that are a little bit bigger as we go along. We get higher. We get the higher up ones drawn for us when we move our time frames around a little bit, but it is showing a nice support at 618. So if it does hold that, maybe 650 is the key. I don't know. Everybody likes to take a look at earnings plays. Everybody likes to talk about them. So I thought I'd drop one for you and give you this very wide range that it has at the moment. Obviously, looking at the daily here, 482.95 is a very far away level to keep an eye on as well. So good luck if you decide to play Netflix based on any data. It changes quickly, but I will not be. And that is all for now when it comes to our week ahead look. Everybody stay safe out there and go get that Oprah money.